What's going on, everybody? Uh, Doing a deck profile for you today. It's my Malefic Traptrix deck. I was originally going to wait till I got all the cards in person, but I just feel like it's gonna take too long, and I know like people have been asking me for it, so I just thought I'd do it now. And then we'll go into some gameplay. I have some more videos for you guys, so sorry I don't have the cards yet, but I will be running this deck like at some point in my life. When First of all, when you can play real Yu-Gi-Oh, which is not a thing right now. Um, so anyways, let's get right into the deck profile. These ratios are a little... I have been playing around with a lot, but I'm pretty happy with this. Just the one Malefic Cyber End Dragon, the one Malefic Stardust Dragon. I've only summoned these once a duel, and they're all searchable via Malefic World, obviously. So just having one doesn't mean like, oh, I'll never see it, because you like are literally in control of your destiny when it comes to this. So that's the reason for that. The two Malefic Paradox gear, and then the one Malefic Parallel gear. Now, Malefic Paradox gear is a great card. It allows you to special summon this from the deck, and also search a card, whatever you want, and which ends up helping out with the draw engine, which I use trade in because you can tribute him, special summon him, and then grab your like a Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon if you really have to. Which case you can use trade in, and then you go from there. So it's and also you can use it. So like let's say you hard draw your Blue Eyes White Dragon, which would suck. It's not the worst thing in the world because you can pitch it, obviously. So that's just the reasoning behind that. This card honestly isn't that good. It's better. It's just better for link fodder. It's like I never find the timing for Malefic Paradox Dragon never seems to work out. But it is a 4,000 attack monster, so obviously you're going to have it in your deck. The one Malefic selection, it's just a really good card. The three Malefic Territory, which I don't know how... I don't know when this card came out, but I know it was new support at some point. So when people only had Malefic World, it must have been rough living. Dual one Metaverse, which is actually really important because they can trigger your Traptrix Sarah. And also, obviously, search your Malefic World, which you have to have. The two Parallel Exceed. I used to have it at 3. I only let it go off once, and I know that kind of goes with recursion, but seeing 2 of these in your hand is like absolutely terrible. So 2 is fine. Traptrix Dionia was really good. It helps you go into a rank 4 automatically if you draw her later in the game. The 2 Traptrix Mermeld, obviously a really good card. Traptrix Mantis helps you search your Mermeld, basically, is what you'll do every time. And then here are all the traps that I'm running. The 2 Time Space Trap one. All of these can be put in the side. Like, don't pay attention to the side deck. These are just like a bunch of theoretical stuff I've tried out. But yeah, for the most part, you're playing against most things. A lot of people summon from the extra deck or the hand, so it's nice that both of these are an option. 2 of those. The 2 Traptrix Nightmare. Special summoning is kind of like the thing going on in the game right now, obviously. The 2 Floodgate Trap Holes, which are just so like deadly against like Adamanticators and basically any combo deck. If you can just set their Junk Synchron down face down, their turn ends for the most part. The Grave Digger's Trap Hole, which people are just using in regular decks now, and obviously it's nice with the searchable. Not only is it searchable, it's you can use it with Rafflesia, which is like the best Traptrix monster. So it can stop if you like. Let's say you're going into some sort of combo, they try to activate Ash Blossom, you can negate that and also give them 2,000 burn. The one Malefic Tune, which is okay. It's not really something you want to set, but luckily with this new OCG card, which is kind of like the only reason that Malefics are playable now, is this Malefic Paradigm Dragon, which lets you cheat out Stardust Dragon and also throw Malefic Tune into the graveyard, which is just protection in case I get destroyed. It lets you, banish from the graveyard and stuff. So this card becomes playable now because of this. And the thing I was talking to you about earlier, this is basically all my draw engine. But also trading works with Malefic Stardust Dragon, so it's not niche, and also it's so easy to search out with these 2 here, and then obviously all your Blue Eyes are all like that. So I've tried a lure, it didn't really work out. This is the highest case scenario where I can draw 2 cards. So that's what I use. And I've added that pretty recently. And then the one copy of Double or Nothing, because you have access to rank 4 so easily, especially with Dionia and Sarah being able to special summon. It just ends up working out pretty good. Onto the extra deck, the Malefic Paradox Dragon. I've quite literally never used his actual effect, but he has 4,000 attack, so if you have to do it, you have to do it. 4,000 attack is a lot, and gets over most things, honestly. Traptrix Sarah, 2 of those, 1 Rafflesia, 1 Almarist. Honestly, this card all depends on, like, this is very situational. I haven't really used it, but I have, like, a few times, so having it in there is nice. Just the 1 Cyber Dragon, obviously. 2 Stardust Dragons, which I guess you could take this down and add something else. And then here are all my rank 4s. Tornado, C101, which I know is a little silly, but it's not too bad. This is for non-targeting removal. It was a problem in the deck before, but now it's not. Underclock Taker, if you need to go into a rank 2 for whatever reason, sometimes you will. That's the option, trust me. Actually, you may see it in this duel, and the Double or Nothing package here. So that's the deck. It's tier 3 for sure, but if you like Malefics and you like Traptrix, I would say this is probably the best version of it that I've had. Traptrix, like pure Traptrix, there's no attack barrier basically. Like you'd have to run a rank 4 engine. This definitely helps circumvent that, and obviously none of these require a normal summon at all, except for maybe this, but you won't be using it that often. So I just think they complement each other really well, and it seems like you guys enjoyed the highlights, so let's do that right now. Actually, I have lots of highlights for you guys to check out. This is just a crazy duel to start off with. I think you'll enjoy this a lot. And I've switched out cards, and I'm sure you will too. It's not like a true final build, which I don't think anyone's deck truly is. That's just the one that I'm running right now. If you're playing against heavy spell traps, you're obviously going to side in stuff like this anyway. So just imagine that this is my side deck. So he's running BA. And this isn't a great going second deck, but as you guys will see, it's not impossible. So I was just trying to bait out that, but didn't work. Oh, this is honestly, I thought Tour Guide would be voted a lot more. If you guys don't know, like Konami is doing a vote basically on the next structure deck, like amongst a bunch of archetypes, and Tour Guide was one of them. So he goes straight, like super hard negative there. I don't know why you would do that against Traptrix, but whatever. So now I can grab whatever I want, and now I can go into my Malefics. Luckily I do have protection there, but yeah. So my Sarah came back, first of all. And the thing is like, okay, let's say he activates his trap trick. Well, that's just gonna set off Sarah, and that's gonna pop a spell, a trap. And then since that was activated, it grabs me another trap. So although I don't normally have cards in my hands, as you'll see in these things, my card advantage stays pretty uniform, I would say, throughout the duel, and I'm usually like above 1 or 2. Fortunately, I don't have Malefic territory anymore, but. And I'm able to use Rafflesia, which is nice. That activates. So Sarah is just an incredible card for advantage. And Malefics obviously aren't good for advantage necessarily, so I think it kind of covers that ground as well. And at this point, I mean, I just have so much like going on. But you guys will see he's like, his defense is unbelievable. So my entire field's almost covered at this point, which is insane, but there we go. Now I'm able to get over that barrier. Go into Boral Sword, which I thought would be game. I mean, look at this board. I didn't realize how stupid I was. I shouldn't have activated Paradigm Dragon. I probably would have won a lot sooner, but what are you going to do? So I still have Rafflesia as backup along with all of these. So I don't... Yeah, I mean, this isn't really going to work out for him. So now I can grab whatever I want, as you guys can see. At this point, it just comes down to, like, your opponent has to pick random, but since I got that ends up, being fine. Now I can attack with everything. And this guy just will not give up. It's insane. I go again. I mean, look at my board. This is insane. I'm finally able to negate the stuff he has going on in there. But I'm thinking, okay, set one pass. This is game. It has to be. It's impossible not to. Let's see if I'm able to get it to work. He summons his Xyz monster, which gets another monster, which gets another monster. I mean, it's so ridiculous. I could not stop laughing when I was playing this duel. So I'm like, okay, jeez. All I could think of was like, okay, I guess if he has Lightning Storm, but I don't know if he's playing that necessarily. So now I'm able to actually chain here. And see, this becomes rank 4 now. So instead of actually using that effect, I go for here so I can pop one of his back row. And Stardust Dragon actually has his effect, right? So it's unaffected by trap. I think it's kind of funny to think, yeah, like, I think a forgotten thing about all these, like, they're unaffected by traps themselves, so he wasn't able to go into it. I mistakenly wanted that, but finally I had exhausted all of his resources. I mean, jeez. This duel, I think, is pretty darn insane, actually. So normally you would think that Lightning Storm is a blowout card, basically, against Traptrix, but you know, there is a whole other engine going on here that's able to protect me. So there's a Lightning Storm. I'm able to trigger and use everything before it blows up. And since I activated Metaverse, luckily I'm able to do this. I should not have summoned this. That was definitely my mistake. But having that Reflasia is good, especially because I know he's using Cyber Dragons. You know, I thought I would be able to stop him going for Mega Fleet, but I didn't. In any case, it doesn't really matter. And plus, Reflasia protects me. So I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. I have all my Traptrix engine to go through. That was going to be game. Was a good little thing he had there. He also had the impermanence, so he did have a backup plan. I definitely don't want this Panzer to go through. So luckily I did have the backup plan there. And now I just kind of have like a big defensive monster that he's not able to get over. Which I think is pretty cool. It's pretty good for rank 4 to have that. And that was a great, you know, normally you'd say it's a great top deck, but again, you're in control of your own top deck, which is really cool. Which is what I like to play, what I like most about Malefic. So I just think it's a cool thing. Double Lightning Storm, man. That is so rough. So now it becomes a top decking war. I have to give up. He can't find a monster that can get over 2400. Let's see what I get here. So I'm hoping, like, geez, does he have another freaking Lightning Storm? But still protected, even though I took a bunch of damage, which is good. Because now I know I have this. And getting Malefic World, obviously, is a fantastic draw. And I'm able to go into this big boy here and go for a game, which is cool. It's really easy to get Broral Sword out. And I guess if you want an access code talker, but I just feel like Broral Sword maybe has more of an application. And this is a combo deck that I'll show you guys. I don't know what he's playing, but it is something combo related. So I basically get everything that I possibly need here. Especially when you open it with Parallax Siege, you feel really good. I don't know what he's playing, so I'm blinding Tornado Dragon. He has a Regeki, so at that point I'm thinking, like, okay, like, is he playing Mirror Force or something crazy? I mean, come on. I have another plan, so he ends up giving up, and as you guys can see, I have plenty to work with here. It's not really a problem, and he only has one card, so that's the idea behind that. Here's just an interesting duel. You guys have to see this for yourself. Man's playing Cup of Ace, so he lives on the edge and gives me 2 draws, which is like, okay. So here's the draw engine that I was telling you guys about. Able to pitch alternative because you're not going to use it. and I'm able to go to work. He has super poly. It's like, okay, geez, that's annoying. But the Malefic selector comes in handy. Didn't use my normal summon, obviously, because I'm using Malefics. And I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, like, what's going on? I was like, what else could he possibly have? And I guess Dark Sanctuary is the answer to that question. And now I'm building, like, a pretty darn good board here. I'm like, does he have another super poly? Probably not. And I'm able to go to work here. And now that I have Stardust Dragon, obviously I can defend myself from that, which is pretty darn cool. He gets pretty unlucky. Both of these attacks go through, so... And I haven't used my normal summon yet. I'm just trying to destroy traps right now. There's one. There's two. I didn't know they were both called by the Grave, but whatever. I don't know what this guy's playing. He's, like, insane. And then I obviously have another tornado, so whatever he goes next, I can just take that. So I just wanted to show you guys the advantage. Here's a deck that I didn't know existed, Nordic. I don't know if you guys know about that. Kind of interesting. It's like a synchro summoning based deck. This is a pretty darn good opening, I gotta say. One trap plus Mermeld, and I have access to it, so I have a lot going on. Used to use Allure, but again, it just wasn't consistent enough for me. I want to try to be able to use it almost every time. Series starts synchro summoning. They have a whole bunch of effects and pretty like formidable. It almost feels like Malefic in a way. It's just like a bunch of big, beefy monsters, but I don't want him to do any more shenanigans with that. And I know he's a back row, so I'm just trying to make sure nothing goes down. And I knew that he was activating cards in the graveyard. Honestly, I'm fine. Like, I'm not really too worried about it, because I know I can go into Paradigm. And now I have Malefic 2 in the graveyard, and, along with Stardust Dragon, so I'm able to get rid of over one of his big monsters. He actually gets Sharded Read off, which is probably embarrassing for me, but what are you going to do? And here I can just continue gaining advantage. And from there he just surrendered because, I mean, look at the board. And also I'm going to be able to grab whatever I want at the end phase. So, and here's probably the most competitive I can show you, like, in terms of, like, okay, this is, like, might be possible. It's a water deck, so... and I know it's fringe, like fringe rogue, I guess you want to call it that. I shouldn't have shotgun the trap hole, but whatever. That was really stupid of me. But now I can just go into normal Malefics here. Yeah, it sucks to have to waste a turn, but I also know that, you know, next turn I'm definitely going to want something else. And I still have another trap trick here to help me. And I know that combo because I used it in my Egyptian God one. I'm able to gate that, and like, okay, he uses normal summon, he probably doesn't have anything else, and that was absolutely right. Finally, I can go into Paradigm. Paradigm gives me Stardust. And I don't have any more to gates, but I do have big monsters, so he's going to have to find a way to get over it. Kaiju doesn't really do anything for him there. All I'm thinking is, like, okay, he's got Babushka, and it's like, that's pretty rough. What could my answer possibly be for that? And again, this is the non-targeting removal that I was telling you guys about. That was definitely a big thing I had to get over for the deck, and I was able to figure it out. And now he's under Babushka, so his plays are pretty much dead, unless he has a Dark Ruler no more, which sucks for me. But I'm okay because I know I'm not taking any more battle damage. Sucks to go basically like neg-4, but again, I have Malefic World, so it's fine. Especially when you get a card like Malefic Selector. You can go to Malefic Cyber End. And then I was game. This was, I just didn't, in case he had, like, I don't know, like Mirror Force or something, I kept this in my hand. But I knew this was game enough. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think about my deck profile, what you would change. And again, sorry it took me so long, but yeah, I was teetering back and forth. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.